Okay, we are going to talk about Catcher's temperament evaluation. So here's his scorecard. And what you need to understand first is that low, medium, high, it's not low isn't bad and high isn't good. That's not how it works. It's just a spectrum. And so you'll understand as we're going through. But so what you're going to notice first is I put the puppy into the temperament evaluation area, and then what I'm watching for is confidence. I'm looking for whether their tail is down, whether their tail is up, whether they're exploring, or whether they're just kind of frozen in spots. So Catcher was very happy to be there. He was happy to check on the new area, check out the new obstacles. His tail was high. There was nothing that was throwing him off. Confidence, yeah, very high, and he demonstrated that throughout the evaluation as well. Assertiveness is the next thing that I look for, so you'll notice that I get into the temperament evaluation area with him, and then I kind of watch to see if he approaches me at all, whether how he approaches me. So if there was low assertiveness, we find that they kind of army crawl over, or maybe they don't even come over. And high assertive, they instantly jump in your lap and they're trying to get at your face and they'll cover you with licks, and there's no personal regard for boundaries. So he was right in the middle. He kind of crawled in my lap and sort of looked up and he was like, okay, what's next? So very polite approach, but no reservations. And so that's great. And what that translates to in real life is a dog with high assertiveness. So I always use the 4-year-old with pizza example. They're walking around the kitchen, and a dog with high assertiveness is going to have zero regard for the fact that he probably shouldn't take that pizza from the 4-year-old. He's just going to take it. Whereas a low assertive dog is probably never going to take the pizza. And a medium assertive might probably look both ways and wonder if he's going to get caught, and he might slowly approach, and then he might take the pizza. So yeah, right in the middle. Motivation level. I gave him a medium. He was kind of right in the middle. This also can be known as how badly do they want to please their people and work for them? How easily are they going to be trained? Just kind of an insight on how training sessions are going to go. And he's right in the middle. He tried most things I asked. He wanted to kind of follow my lead, and then he would kind of get distracted and check out his own things, and then he would come back. But yeah, so it's pretty average. Nerve strength and resiliency. So the ability to handle stress or new situations. I gave him a high for this. There was no issues. He was not nervous at all. There was no worries about nerve strength. He was not shaking. Other signs of stress in puppies are yawning, scratching, sneezing. I didn't see any of that. He was cool as a cucumber. And typically, so a dog with a strong, like a high nerve strength, these are the dogs that are easier to take out into the world. They can handle new situations. They can handle visits to weird places, especially matched with the high confidence. It's pretty much a go anywhere dog. Touch tolerance. Okay, so we are not looking to see if a puppy enjoys the handling. We are looking at how tolerant they are. And I would say Catcher enjoyed it as well. So he scored high for touch tolerance, meaning while I was doing his puppy massage, he really kind of melted into it. You can actually hear, if you listen really closely, when I'm massaging his ears, he's like deep groaning, like his mom does the same thing, and it's the sweetest thing. He just kind of like leans right into it and gives a deep groan, and it's way too adorable. But yeah, he just really enjoys his daily massages. He enjoys that touch, which also, being very touch tolerant, is going to work really well for a house with younger kids, because often they don't have boundaries when it comes to touching and learning with animals, and he's going to be very tolerant to those situations and very forgiving. So yeah. Energy level, I gave him a medium, pretty middle of the road. So what we see with a low energy dog is they do a lot of sitting, and they don't really want to participate through the whole thing because they kind of get bored. And a high energy dog doesn't ever really stop running. They're just kind of like spinning circles through the testing area. And so he was kind of happy. Sometimes he walked and sometimes he ran. And so yeah, just kind of right in the middle. He's going to be great to take for a longer walk if you want to go. But often what happens is if we have a high energy dog and we haven't met their physical needs or their mental stimulation needs, those dogs become destructive. So I don't think that will be his personality. Right in the middle, I think that as long as his needs are met, he's going to be a pretty happy guy energy wise. Sound sensitivity and sight sensitivity. So for these ones, low would be that they were not sensitive to it, meaning that they didn't really notice. So for the sound, you're going to see that I take like a Fisher-Price shaker and I shake it really loud to see if he notices. And I don't really care if he notices. What I'm looking for is how does he recover? Does he startle, and does he recover from that within a few seconds? And he did not even notice the shaker. He didn't even hear it. He just carried on about his business. So what that looks like in real life is a home with loud kids or loud noises, anything like that. Chances are he's not going to notice as much. Sight sensitivity. Again, so we're looking at how sensitive he is to the reaction and does he recover from that startle. So I pop up an umbrella and kind of see if he startles. Does he notice and come check it out? Or does he completely crumble in fear? And he noticed, but then he recovered really quickly and went about his business. So yeah, he scored a medium there. And those two things are also touch tolerance, sound, and sight sensitivity are all adjustable traits, things that we can be building into our dogs, and we should be as well, with daily massages, continual sound exposures, seeing new things. That all plays into our puppy socialization. Prey drive. I scored a medium for him. He liked playing with the toys, but it wasn't super intense. So I think it's going to be a good balance between wanting to play a little bit of fetch, wanting to play tug. He'll be responding to the toys, but I don't think it will be an unmanageable chase like it can be with a high prey drive. And human focus. I scored him a medium for this one too. He's really kind of well-rounded guy. He kept checking back in with me, but then he also had a good balance of independence, that he was happy to play with his toys. And I even noticed this as well. The first time that I took him for the car ride, I put him in the crate and he just was so easygoing about it. Not a peep. That kind of really summed up his personality in one experience. He's just so easygoing. But yeah, so for the human focus, he kind of was seeking me out. So I do think that he's going to enjoy being with his people. But if he's in a household where that's maybe a busier family and they're gone more often, or a working family, I think that he's going to handle that fine. Tenderhearted. So I scored him a moderate. And what you notice is I kind of roll on the floor and I pretend that I'm crying and see how the puppy reacts. So yeah, so he got a moderate because he noticed, but he didn't really care, which is not a bad thing. A puppy that is too tender-hearted can be hard for them to manage emotions of young kids in the family, whereas he was very easygoing about it, that he was kind of like, yeah, you good? Okay, come on, let's play. And those dogs are really good for homes with people that struggle with anxiety or depression or very big emotions, because the dog does not get wrapped up in it. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm glad, I'm sorry that you're sad, but we still need to play, or we still need to go for a walk, and I still need attention. As opposed to a puppy that maybe takes on those feelings from someone who's struggling with anxiety. The puppy then ends up with anxiety. And you can see how that's probably not the best fit. So anyways, he was very easygoing about it. Dog friendliness, I gave him an assertive. He jumped right for the puppy's face, or the fake dog's face. He was right in there like a dirty shirt. I think he's going to be fine whether there's a dog in the household or not. What that looks like is if there is already a dog, we just want to kind of match energy levels and play styles, because he's likely going to be right in that dog's face. If you have any questions about Catcher, you let me know.